You better stop playing with me. Y'all see the drip. Hello and welcome to Econ Revo. I am your host, Jamal. And boy, do I got a very special episode for y'all. I ain't playing.
The only difference between working for a wage and being a slave is that working for a wage is supposedly temporary.
Being a wage slave is the absolute worst thing that you can possibly do with your life.
It's just a fare, it's a steady paycheck.
Or just take a damn job for a paycheck. Once you get into this shit, it just fucking latches onto you and you just can't get out.
You are selling your time for money.
This isn't what I was meant to do.
Well, you're free to leave at any time.
Yes, you're free to starve. That's exactly right.
When I started this job, I wanted to plan my escape.
But the plantation was more than an economic organization.
I mean doing meaningless work just to pay the bills.
A new report shows about 4 million Americans quit their jobs in April of this year.
I want to be doing what I want to do.
Yes.
I just want to build my own thing.
Time is the thing that is most valuable in your life. Because once I've spent time, it's gone forever.
Working for you is a losing game. The collapse of the labor market. Why did I name this episode with that title? Why? I named this episode with that title because I named this episode with that title. Stay tuned. I want you to think about, as a viewer, why they say raising minimum wage would not be advantageous. Just think about that. I also want you to think about what is probably the most dangerous thing that can happen to an economic society. Now, take a few moments. Think right now.
A few moments later.
All right, time's up. So, whatever your thoughts are, remember those thoughts, because by the end of this video, I want you to comment down below in the comment section. All right? But you got to watch the whole thing and then comment. All right? Don't do it before. You know the saying, if we raise minimum wage, it's going to raise the price of goods and services. Is this thing on? Newsflash. The prices of goods and services already go up. They're already up. I mean, up. So, I'm just going to call it like it is. Bull. Oh, I can't say that? All right, my bad. I'm going to just call it like it is. It's a bunch of bull crap. This theory or this claim is outdated. It's unoriginal, and I personally don't feel it to be true. Now, sure, smaller businesses, they're going to have to raise their prices if they raise the wages. I get that part. But what about big businesses? What's their problem with raising minimum wage? What's their problem with raising wages, period? Haven't y'all figured it out by now that it's about more than just a dollar? You got to value people's time. Even I, as a small business owner, paid above minimum wage. Economists and experts, they urge us to trust them and their expertise. Now, by the way, I'm not talking about you, economists, my viewers. I'm talking about them. You know, them.
You know who you are.
But honestly, even they'll tell you they don't know what'll happen. In fact, nobody knows. Now I get it. It's the potential uncertainty. These big businesses don't know what'll happen if they start paying more. I mean, it's not like you'll see an increase in productivity if you just pay your employees more and they're happier and they can pay their bills and they can take care of their family. I mean, that's not going to happen. Or will it? And did you know our government used to really be on top of this stuff? Let's take a stroll back to 1938 when the government saw fit to implement the minimum wage. That's right, President Franklin D. Roosevelt saw it fit to give the American people faith in the government. Let's regulate and ensure that there's no funny business going around with these big businesses. And perhaps we'll get people excited about working.
Best job ever.
Best job ever. Best job ever. And it seemed to be going well. Back in 1938, the minimum wage was 25 cents. And every few years after that, it incrementally increased. We were on a pretty good track record. Minimum wage was adjusting with inflation. If we're measuring the purchasing power of said dollar at their respective times, and we compare to, 1968 when the minimum wage was $1.60. If we compare that to today's rate, that would have been equivalent to $12.30. So essentially in 1968, they were getting paid more than what we're getting paid now. I'm no mathematician, but you do the math. $7.25, $12.30. Looks like this alligator is going to win. Minimum wage has only risen 6 times in the last 30 years. Now, in the preceding 30 years before that, minimum wage has risen twice as many times. That's right, 12, right? 6 was 12. Yeah, you get it. And to add insult to injury, it has not risen in the last 12 years. This, in fact, is the longest that it has ever gone without being increased since the minimum wage was implemented. Now, I don't know a lot about anything, but I know that's a little off. Humor me. How should the average working American feel when they walk into a place that wants to pay them $7.25 to make sure that they make hundreds and thousands of dollars? Pay them more, dang it. You want to know the biggest change that we're seeing in 2021? It's not stock prices. It's not inflation, and we all know it's not the increase in minimum wage. People just, quite frankly, just don't give a Yeah, I can't say that, but you get where I'm going. A lot of people find themselves in a position where they have to choose themselves or their job. And I'm pretty sure most people are starting to choose themselves. Generations before us had the ability to work 20 years, then retire, and still live somewhat of a generous life. That doesn't appear to be working in this market. If you're wondering what's happening and you still haven't figured it out, that's what I'm here for. The labor market is crashing. Or crashed, or crashing, or both. You see it in your jobs and your careers. People really don't give a I know, I'm not going to say it. In our time of instant gratification, there's little to no honor in working the uphill battle to the American dream. It's just not worth it anymore. Social media showcases young people living frivolous lives and chasing their dreams. It's so in our faces that some of us kind of feel like that we aren't winning. So what are we doing? We're taking to social media. We're taking to the streets. We're taking to the new waves, and we're figuring this thing out for ourselves. While the success rate is a small ratio of the masses, a lot of us are taking a lot more risks, and it's okay. It's all right. Even I have to check myself from time to time and tell me that me is doing great. Now, I brought this message to you not to condemn or complain about our government. I'm here to tell you the leverage has shifted. That's right. Employers are slowly losing their grip, and employees are slowly taking it. And big businesses are starting to feel it.
Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs?
They are beginning to realize that Generation Z and Millennials are not going to fight over scraps anymore. By the way, I hate titles, but I guess it's needed in this situation. Why chase $7.25 an hour or a little bit more when I can chase my dreams, crypto, and being an entrepreneur? Call the younger generation what you will. Lazy, stupid, weak, but they aren't letting you control them anymore. Not for pennies on the dollar. Remember when I asked you earlier at the beginning of this video to think about what you might think could be the most dangerous thing that can happen to an economic society? Some of us might have thought a nuclear war, another pandemic, or Elon Musk setting up satellites in the air to control people's brains. But if you ask me, it's the continuing exploitation of the younger and everyday average working Americans. This will be our biggest downfall. Pay them more, dang it. Until next time, if you don't get it, you don't got it.